Emergency lighting is required in every building of human occupancy, according to NFPA 101, the Life Safety Code. Emergency lights must be provided in all means of egress, such as corridors, stairwells, and exit doors. It's crucial that emergency lighting activates automatically in the event of a power outage. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, Article 700 covers emergency lighting. NEC mandates that emergency lights must have a minimum illumination of 1 foot candle, which is 10.76 lux. Additionally, these lights must be powered by a separate branch circuit. NFPA 101 does not specify a specific size for rooms that require emergency lighting. However, the International Building Code, or IBC, provides some guidance. According to IBC Section 1010.4, emergency lighting is required in all spaces with an occupant load of 50 or more. Furthermore, IBC Section 1010.5 states that emergency lighting is required in all spaces with a floor area of 5,000 square feet or more. Now let's discuss exit lights. NFPA 101 requires exit signs in every doorway, passageway, or other point of exit access. Exit signs must be illuminated with a minimum illumination of 5-foot candles, which equates to 53.82 lux. IBC Section 1015 stipulates that exit signs are required at all exit doors, including doors that lead to darkened areas. Exit signs are also required in all spaces that exceed 1,200 square feet or have an occupant load of 100 or more. Applying these requirements to specific areas like stockrooms and bathrooms, the following rules apply. Firstly, if a stockroom is over 5,000 square feet, emergency lighting would be required. Secondly, if the stockroom has an occupant load of 50 or more, emergency lighting would also be necessary. The necessity of an exit sign depends on whether the stockroom has a secondary exit. If a secondary exit exists, an exit sign would be required at both exits. Moving on to bathrooms. Bathrooms typically do not have an occupant load of 50 or more, so emergency lighting would generally not be required. However, if the bathroom is located in a mall store that exceeds 5,000 square feet, emergency lighting would be required in the bathroom. Exit signs would be required at all exit doors, including the door to the restroom. In summary, the requirements for emergency and exit lighting are governed by several codes, most notably NFPA 101, NEC, and IBC. Emergency lighting is generally required in all buildings of human occupancy, with specific size and occupancy load thresholds triggering additional requirements. Exit signs are necessary at all points of exit access and at exit doors, especially in larger spaces. It's important to consult these codes directly and local amendments to ensure full compliance. The specific requirements may vary slightly depending on the jurisdiction and the type of occupancy. Firstly, consider the size of the room. If a room exceeds 5,000 square feet, emergency lighting is likely required, regardless of occupancy. Secondly, evaluate the occupancy load. If a room is designed to accommodate 50 or more people, emergency lighting is generally required. Thirdly, check for the presence of exit doors. All exit doors must have illuminated exit signs, especially if they lead to darkened areas. Fourthly, understand the power source requirements. Emergency lights must be powered by a separate branch circuit and must activate automatically during a power outage. Fifthly, ensure proper illumination levels. Emergency lights must provide a minimum of 1-foot candle, while exit signs must provide a minimum of 5-foot candles. Sixthly, regularly inspect and maintain the lighting systems. Emergency lighting and exit signs should be tested regularly to ensure they are functioning properly. Seventhly, stay updated on code changes. Building and electrical codes are periodically updated, so it's crucial to stay informed about the latest requirements. Eighthly, consult with qualified professionals. If you have any doubts about the requirements for emergency and exit lighting, consult with a qualified electrician or fire safety engineer. For bathrooms specifically, consider the location and overall size of the building. Even if a bathroom itself is small and has a low occupancy, its location within a larger building might trigger emergency lighting requirements. For stockrooms, pay close attention to the presence of secondary exits. If a stockroom has multiple exits, each exit must be clearly marked with an illuminated exit sign. The NEC provides specific guidelines on the types of wiring and equipment that are suitable for emergency lighting systems. It's important to use only listed and labeled equipment that is designed for emergency use. In addition to the general requirements, there may be specific requirements for certain types of occupancies, such as healthcare facilities or high-rise buildings. These occupancies may have more stringent requirements for emergency lighting and exit signs. Consider the use of backup generators or battery systems to ensure that emergency lighting remains functional during extended power outages. The selection of appropriate emergency lighting fixtures depends on several factors, including the size and shape of the room, the mounting height, and the desired illumination level. LED lighting is becoming increasingly popular for emergency lighting applications due to its energy efficiency, long lifespan, and instant-on capabilities. When installing emergency lighting and exit signs, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Proper installation is essential to ensure that the systems function reliably in an emergency. Conduct regular fire drills to familiarize occupants with the location of exits and the operation of emergency lighting systems. Document all inspections, testing, and maintenance activities related to emergency lighting and exit signs. This documentation can be helpful in demonstrating compliance with applicable codes and standards. The IBC addresses accessibility requirements for exit signs, ensuring that they are visible and understandable to people with disabilities. Consider the use of audible exit signals to supplement visual exit signs, particularly in areas with high noise levels or where occupants may have visual impairments. The NFPA offers various training programs and certifications related to fire safety, including emergency lighting and exit signs. Participating in these programs can enhance your knowledge and skills in this area. The design and installation of emergency lighting and exit signs should be coordinated with other fire protection systems, such as fire alarms and sprinkler systems. Regular inspections by local fire marshals or building inspectors can help to identify and correct any deficiencies in emergency lighting and exit signs. The location of emergency lighting and exit signs should be carefully considered to ensure that they are not obstructed by furniture, equipment, or other objects. It's important to provide adequate signage to direct occupants to the nearest exits, especially in complex or unfamiliar buildings. The use of photoluminescent exit signs can provide a backup source of illumination in the event of a complete power failure. Consider the ambient lighting conditions when selecting emergency lighting fixtures. The fixtures should be bright enough to provide adequate illumination even in well-lit areas. The NEC requires that emergency lighting systems be tested monthly to ensure that they are functioning properly. These tests should be documented and kept on file. In addition to monthly testing, emergency lighting systems should be subjected to an annual load test to verify their capacity to provide power for the required duration. The results of these tests should be documented and kept on file. The placement of emergency lighting fixtures should be carefully considered to minimize glare and shadows. Consider the use of shielded or recessed fixtures to reduce glare. The color of emergency lighting should be different from the color of normal lighting to avoid confusion. The NEC specifies that emergency lighting must be maintained in a fully operational condition at all times. Any deficiencies must be corrected promptly. The NFPA provides guidance on the selection and installation of emergency power systems, including generators and battery systems. Consider the potential for vandalism or tampering when installing emergency lighting and exit signs. Use vandal-resistant fixtures and mount them in secure locations. The use of wireless emergency lighting systems can simplify installation and reduce the need for extensive wiring. Consider the environmental conditions when selecting emergency lighting fixtures. Use fixtures that are suitable for the temperature, humidity, and other environmental factors in the area. The NEC requires that emergency lighting systems be protected from physical damage. Use conduit or other protective measures to prevent damage to wiring and equipment. The NFPA provides guidance on the design and installation of smoke control systems, which can help to improve visibility and facilitate evacuation during a fire. Consider the use of emergency lighting systems that are integrated with the building's fire alarm system. This can allow for automatic activation of emergency lighting in the event of a fire. The NEC requires that emergency lighting systems be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. Failure to follow these instructions can void the warranty and may create a safety hazard. The NFPA provides guidance on the development of emergency evacuation plans, which should include procedures for using emergency lighting and exit signs. Consider the use of multilingual exit signs to accommodate occupants who do not speak English. The NEC requires that emergency lighting systems be inspected and tested by a qualified electrician at least once a year. The results of these inspections and tests should be documented and kept on file. The NFPA provides guidance on the use of emergency communication systems, which can be used to provide instructions and updates to occupants during an emergency. Consider the use of emergency lighting systems that are powered by renewable energy sources, such as solar or wind power. The NEC requires that emergency lighting systems be designed to minimize the risk of electric shock. Use ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, and other safety devices to protect occupants from electrical hazards. The NFPA provides guidance on the selection and use of fire extinguishers, which can be used to suppress small fires and prevent them from spreading. Consider the use of emergency lighting systems that are equipped with remote monitoring capabilities. This can allow for early detection of system failures and prompt corrective action. The NEC requires that emergency lighting systems be clearly labeled and identified. Use signs and markings to indicate the location of emergency lighting fixtures and the function of each component. The NFPA provides guidance on the development of fire prevention plans, which should include measures to reduce the risk of fires and other emergencies. Consider the use of emergency lighting systems that are designed to withstand extreme temperatures. This is particularly important in areas where temperatures may fluctuate widely. The NEC requires that emergency lighting systems be installed in a manner that does not interfere with the operation of other building systems. Coordinate the installation of emergency lighting systems with other trades to avoid conflict. The NFPA provides guidance on the use of fire-resistant materials in building construction. Use fire-resistant materials to protect emergency lighting systems from fire damage. Consider the use of emergency lighting systems that are equipped with automatic self-testing capabilities. This can reduce the need for manual testing and ensure that the systems are functioning properly. The NEC requires that emergency lighting systems be maintained in a clean and orderly condition. Remove any debris or obstructions that could impair the operation of the systems. The NFPA provides guidance on the development of disaster preparedness plans, which should include procedures for responding to a variety of emergencies. Consider the use of emergency lighting systems that are designed to be easily maintained and repaired. Use modular components that can be quickly replaced in the event of a failure. The NEC requires that emergency lighting systems be protected from unauthorized access. Use locked enclosures or other security measures to prevent tampering or vandalism.